Fanfiction Theater.
Welcome everyone to Fanfiction Theater. Yay! The podcast where we read bad, weird, and apparently good fan fiction. As we discovered last episode, my name is Zach.
I'm Faina.
I'm video editing.
And that's Demery.
Hi.
And that is my sweet husband, Anthony.
Sometimes I'm sweet, sometimes I'm sour.
Jesus.
And I like that Sour Patch Kid all night long, baby.
I am not a kid, I'm a big boy.
Please don't say kid. So rules of...
Zach, we play Yu-Gi-Oh! In this house.
Yeah?
Explain to me how we are not kids.
Because we play Yu-Gi-Oh! And pay bills.
I am a man.
It's the paying bills part that adds in the adulthood.
Yu-Gi-Oh! The video game, by the way, not the TCG. We're not fucking nerds.
Says the man stockpiling Digimon card
Hey,
games.
Digimon TCG is a lot less nerdy than Yu-Gi-Oh!
All right, guys, we don't have time for couples therapy right now. We got a podcast to record.
Rules of the podcast: it has to be older than 5 years old.
We try to keep it it doesn't necessarily have to not be PG-13 or R or X. We're just not going to read that part.
Close to PG-13 as possible. We cut out anything that makes us feel uncomfortable. And really, that's about it. We had a fan submission last one, so keep sending those because that's a lot of fun. Okay, Demery.
Yeah.
You read last time. I'm lying. Anthony.
Yeah.
I did not read last time.
You did not read last time, so you're starting us off.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go a little topical.
Oh.
Topical this time. At the time of this recording, the new Kingdom for the Planet of the Apes movie just came out, and I love the Planet of the Apes movies. Would you rather I go with my Pokemon fanfic?
No,
No?
It's
Okay.
fine. I'm tired of
You're
the rise of the war of the planet of the ape monkeys.
Kingdom
Beneath the escape of
Beneath the
the
escape of 20,000
the battle
leagues under the planet.
of the apes. 20,000 leagues of apes.
Too furious.
To ape or not to ape?
Whether
Two
it is
apes
nobler in the ape to ape the ape of outrageous apedom, or to take ape against a sea of ape, and by opposing ape them to ape no more.
to ape pedant monkey.
I feel really bad that after all that brilliant monologue, my joke was 2 apes, 1 cup.
Some of us have a bit more class than others. But yes, I do have a Planet of the Apes fanfic for us
I didn't
today.
know you had so much of that monologue memorized, Emery.
I know most of it.
I mean, it helps when you just replace every noun with ape.
Makes it a lot easier, yeah.
There's a special appearance by one of our favorite pop musicians of the last several decades.
T-Swizzle?
It's not T-Swizzle. We do love T-Swizzle, and we've already asked her to come on the show. But
Elton John.
her people have not gotten back to us yet, though. I was thinking of the Starman himself, David Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
Themselves?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he always identified as he, him.
Okay. But yeah, this fanfic is called A Light Beyond the Stars by, I don't know how to pronounce this, Anonwai Mouse.
Excuse me?
It's anonymous. It's anonymous. It came out...
Mouse.
I'm glad that got you.
And Faina has been broken.
That isn't even my best joke. Apparently it is. Jesus. She can't breathe. Oh, there we go. Okay.
I think she's gonna explode.
We're getting purple.
It originally released in March of 2019, and the summary is, for years, Cornelius has been in charge of cutting a human captive's hair. Cornelius is one of the regular characters, I think, in like the original series of Planet of the Apes movies.
Yeah.
And apparently Cornelius has been a hairstylist for a bit. So
Even monkeys need gays.
they are apes, okay? Okay.
Okay.
They're apes.
Not offensive.
All right. It was hot on the planet of the apes. Sweat rolled down the back of Cornelius's neck, dampening his ape-like fur. But even if the day hadn't been so
Wait,
hot...
I'm sorry.
Ape-like?
Ape? Why? What? But he's an ape. Why is it ape-like?
He's an
It's
evolved
just
ape.
ape.
He's an evolved ape.
But they still all look
It's
like
still
apes.
an ape.
Oh, all apes look the same.
Fucking gotcha.
Yeah, they got it.
But even if the day hadn't been so hot, Cornelius would still be sweating. He had the jangly chimp nerves.
Oh, okay.
I lied. That's my new rap name. Jangly chimp nerves.
In other fanfics, that's called Holy Stone.
Hey boy, let me see your jangly chimp nerves.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna get so many
I was
uncomfortable
gonna say,
emails.
just so you're all aware, Demery has yet to receive any Holy Stones pictures.
I have
so
not.
Thank God.
Thank goodness. Thank you for not sending them.
Hey, but I like
Let's
girls
keep that
too,
going,
so
shall
if
we?
you want to tattoo holy stones on your boobs and send me those if you're 18 or older, then that's cool too.
18 or older.
Cornelius made his way down the stone steps, heading right for the human jail. For 5 years, the apes had kept one human prisoner. He was never to be killed, for he was so beautiful that no one could bear to erase him.
Oh, that's David Bowie.
The Goblin King himself.
Oh my god.
His blonde hair had grown long, so that it had hid his multicolored
Dance, magic
eyes.
dance.
And it was Cornelius's job to trim it. He was wicked good with scissors.
Wicked good, guys. I'm wicked good with
Oh,
them
we can
scissors.
tell this is a Bostonian.
Before becoming a very important ape, perhaps a politician of some sort, he'd spent 2 years at Monkey Cosmetology School.
I love that we have to get the backstory of why he's good with scissors.
He's wicked good with scissors.
Yeah,
Tell
he's
them how
fucking wicked.
I'm defying cosmetology.
It always made Cornelius nervous to meet the human. He entered the underground jail, sighing in relief at the sudden chill. The human was never warm, even in the midst of summer, which sucked for the human, but it was nice for the apes to sometimes go down there and visit him, because they hadn't gotten around to inventing monkey air conditioners.
Monkey AC.
This is my monkey AC. I'm here at my monkey table with my monkey phone.
Using my monkey scissors.
We're rehashing digi-evolving, digi-elemental.
This fanfic did it.
Yep.
All right.
I got monkey police brutality.
The human didn't glance up at Cornelius. He was
Brutalized isn't a word. I'm sorry. Go on.
brutalized.
There we go.
That's it.
He was slumped in the corner, fiddling with a pair of round glasses.
What was he
that had-
fiddling with?
A pair of round glasses
Monkey
that had been
glasses.
broken for years. A vivid
Monkey broke it.
A vivid purple bruise was painted across the human's cheekbone, spreading.
Monkey bruise.
Painted?
That's what it says. Painted. A vivid purple
So
bruise
he
was
didn't get
painted.
hit. He just painted it on himself for a look.
David
It's
Bowie.
David Bowie.
That's something Bowie would do.
I know.
Spreading all the way to his ear. His clothes, once pressed and clean, were now in ruins. The human fascinated Cornelius. He claimed to come from the year 1982. If that were true, it meant that he was part of a race from which apes had evolved. This should
With
have made
shoulder pads.
this should have made him.
I also haven't come since 1982.
Oh my god.
This is okay. Super inaccurate too, because like. The apes did not evolve from humans, even in the original Planet of the Apes series, right? They evolved from apes.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck it, whatever.
Monkey apes.
Monkey. I'm very upset with the amount of monkey being brought up in this ape fanfic. Whatever. This should have made him.
Oh, so it's only okay when they say monkey?
That's right.
This feels a lot like appropriation, and I'm not here for it.
This should have made him.
Monkey appropriation.
I was going to say aperation.
Aperasia.
Appropriation.
Sorry, that's aperations is what we're gonna give the monkeys. Once we finally admit what injustice we did to them.
This should have made him inferior, but Cornelius secretly found the human to be intelligent and extremely beautiful. Human, he said, I'm here to cut your hair. The human didn't move. Cornelius opened the cell door and stepped inside.
He's dead.
It always smelled of sex down here.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was common practice for the more well-off apes to pay the jailers for an hour or two of alone time with the human.
Oh,
Whoa.
yes.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I
This
can't
took a
imagine
turn.
that's consensual.
Cornelius stepped forward and grabbed the human by his shoulders, lifting him onto a low stone
Shoulder
bench.
pads.
Hold still, Cornelius
Monkey
said,
shoulder pads.
but he didn't want to admit it to himself. But he always took great care with the human's hair. It had been so luxurious and soft when the human first stumbled into their encampment, and Cornelius hated to see such great hair go to waste. Sometimes he worked harder on the human's hair than he did on his own. Cornelius, said the human softly. He touched Cornelius's wrist with the tip of his finger. The human was always gentle. Cornelius wondered if that was his nature or if he was afraid of incurring the ape-like wrath of the apes. What other kind?
Ape-like
What other
wrath
kind of
of
wrath? What other kind of wrath are they gonna have?
Monkey rat.
Ape-like Wrath of the Apes.
I think they have a skin.
That's the next.
care
That's the next movie.
regimen.
Right,
for
the
a
ape
monkey
wrath of the apes.
The ape wrath of the planet of the apes.
Jesus.
Cornelius, said the human softly. He touched Cornelius's wrist. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. Yes, Cornelius said. The human hesitated, biting his lip. The jailer informed me you recently became engaged, he
Zach
said
and I just
finally.
bit our lips in the most obnoxious way possible at each other.
I'm just suddenly so scared for where this is gonna go that I can't.
I don't
can't.
think it's... God, I really hope it's not going to go anywhere unfortunate, but I've got a Pokemon one,
Or
just in
fortunate.
case.
Nope, we're stuck. We're gone.
No, here we
We
are.
made too many monkey jokes to turn back now.
The jailer informed me you recently became engaged, he said finally. Congratulations.
Oh.
Cornelius didn't respond. He nodded uneasily and focused on clipping the human's hair. What's her name? The human asked. It's really none of your business, Cornelius said. In truth, he couldn't remember. It was something like Xenia or Zepha or something, but he could never think straight around this human. Lean forward a bit. The human obliged, and Cornelius
Bitches
said...
aren't memorable.
Shocker, the ape that went to cosmetology school is gay. Oh my god.
Only for David Bowie.
The human obliged, and Cornelius set to work trimming the back of his head. There was a fading red mark around the human's neck, like someone had been choking him. Cornelius's stomach flipped at the sight of it. This is
Flipped like
his
this
his
is
stomach
making me
flipped.
horny.
No. When does stomach flipping equal horny?
My stomach flips when I get choked too.
And there
Thank
it
you,
is.
Demi.
Human, he started. David, the human corrected. Cornelius's face felt hot under his fur. He knew the human's name, of course. David, he said. What was your life like before you came here? Did you live with other humans? Yes, said David. His eyes were sad and far away. There were continents full of them. The idea of it made
I
Cornelius's
feel
head
like
spin.
there's a missed opportunity there.
I'm sorry.
There were stars in the Starman's eyes.
The idea of it made Cornelius's head spin. Continents full of humans? He said under his breath. It sounds like a fantasy novel. Who was their ruler? They don't have monkey ACs. I did not know that they had monkey novels.
Yeah, apparently.
Monkey Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Monkey Tale of Two Cities.
M.K. Rowling.
If we don't talk about her on this show, she's monk-phobic.
Right. Right.
A smile tugged at David's lips.
Fairy monkey and the sorcerer's stone. Sorry, good. I had to get that one out. All right, continue.
A smile tugged at David's lips. Some said I was, in a sense. He said, I was a singer, a popular one, and entertainers were frequently referred to as kings. But every continent was broken into countries, and each country had its own ruler. Cornelius was silent for a bit. The archaeologist in him had a million more questions to ask.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, did I miss a line?
Hairdresser?
It sounds like a fantasy novel. Who was their
Archaeologist.
ruler?
No, I'm saying like
Yep.
he's archaeologist who is also went to cosmetology school.
He also becomes a politician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their attention spans must be amazing.
Yeah, right. Or monkey college is really cheap.
But his mind was stuck on the first thing David had said. You were a singer? He asked. Yes. A man of status? There was a pause. David held still so Cornelius could trim his bangs. One could say that, he said eventually. And now, Cornelius said, talking mostly to himself, you live in a cage eating, what, 1 meal a day? Yes, said David softly. Doesn't that bother you? You always seem so sincere here. I would be going ape.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
And then it says in
You
parentheses
bitch.
after that, because he's an ape.
Oh my God.
The author felt really clever. This whole fan fiction was just for that one joke.
They had to make sure we got it.
Guys, you know this is a Planet of the Apes fanfic, right?
I don't know. They've been using monkeyhole. It's not Planet of the Monkeys. All right. David chuckled. 5 years is a long time, he said. I've gotten used to it. Cornelius's knuckles brushed the bruise on David's cheek, and David went still, struggling not to flinch. His eyes went dark. Most of it, he muttered. Cornelius's heart ached. Once upon a time, he could have ignored a human suffering, could have believed Dr. Zaius's rhetoric, that humans are inferior, that they don't have
Ignoring
emotions.
human suffering. What is he, American? Bazinga. That's how you know it was a joke.
That humans are inferior, that they don't have emotions, that they can't feel pain. But over the years, he had seen David use reasoning, create tools, even read and write. David was hairless, but he was as much an ape as Cornelius was. Actually, I'm going into this now because this happens all before fucking Charlton Heston shows up, which means humans don't talk, but David Bowie is fucking talking.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, he's not surprised about humans talking. So when he sees it in the first Planet of the Apes movie, with Charlton Heston fucking speaking, get your paws off me, you damn dirty apes, that's not a surprise to Cornelius. That's not a surprise to the apes fucking David Bowie. Everyone knows that humans talk.
I just would like to say that if he's been imprisoned for what is this 5 years and only getting haircuts, it's not a hairless body. It is a jungle.
Look, said Cornelius, tucking his scissors into his belt. Don't tell anyone, but it really cheeses me off the way they treat
I
you.
also often have to tuck my scissors into my belt.
Okay, wait. Hold on. Are cows canon on the Planet of the Apes?
No horses are, though.
Okay, but cows
So
are
they
not.
have-
So where does the cheese coming from?
Horse cheese?
It really cheeses me. I don't know. Horse cheese. I don't know.
Oh no. Oh no, I don't like it.
Horse cheese.
Call me a radical, but I don't think it's right for a monkey to assault a human. I'm gonna say assault instead of the other word that it uses in here.
Salt, as in like turn it into jerky, like.
Yeah, with pepper.
Yep, that's it, Faina. Yep, moving on.
Oh.
David stared down at the floor.
What
on a-
hand motion did you make? Oh.
David stared.
Mr. Bimbo. The vicar.
You got it.
I'm so proud of you, Demery. David stared down at the floor, unable to look at Cornelius in the eye. Cornelius gently raised David's chin until they were gazing at each other. I'm going to get you out of here, said Cornelius firmly. No more torture, no more assault, okay? David's eyes shone with tears. You're not the first person to tell me that, he said, voice raw. There's always someone, always one ape in town who comes in here and whispers that he'll save me. But in the end, they just take what they want and leave. You don't believe me, Cornelius said, pulling away. That's fine. I wouldn't either in your situation. But I'm coming back here tonight, okay? Whether you believe me or not.
I'm a politician. They'll let me do anything.
sad.
I'm sorry.
David turned away until Cornelius couldn't see his face. He didn't respond, but his chest rose and fell rapidly, making Cornelius's heart ache once again. There was nothing he could say to convince David he was telling the truth. Cornelius stepped out of the cell, his mind already formulating his plan for tonight. The provisions he would need, the steps he would have to take to ensure they weren't caught. He thought of his fiancée, whatever her name was, and was suddenly very glad they didn't live together. His cell phone buzzed, and he
Excuse
took it
me?
out.
What?
I don't fucking know.
No. You cannot have cell phones but not air conditioning.
Monkey cell phone.
Monkey cell phone. No, it's not a monkey cell phone. Just his cell phone buzzed and he took it out. It was an iStone 4, which showed
Oh my god.
Fucking Christ.
which shows that Cornelius buys quality products, but not that he doesn't always keep up with the upgrades because he doesn't like to spend
God.
unnecessary money.
This is the weirdest ad I've ever heard.
Right.
Fucking Apple wrote this shit just to sell iPhones. Looking at the caller ID, Zira. Oh, right, that was her name. Cornelius ignored the text. If he wanted to pull this off, he couldn't get bogged down by emotional connections. He had a job to do. The end. I'm so sorry that I read that. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, don't fucking sue me.
My favorite joke was the Anon Y Mouse joke.
Whose fever dream was this?
I'm not sure.
Why David Bowie?
I don't know.
Why was there a
Because he's the
paragraph about
Starman.
ice stones? A whole paragraph.
Ended on the ad.
Oh, like World War Z. It ended on a Pepsi
The
ad.
whole movie was a Pepsi ad.
Jesus Christ.
Oh god, no! I apologize for all ape enthusiasts, all Planet of the Apes enthusiasts, and all Kingdom of the Planet of the Rise of the Dawn of the Beneath of
Revenge
the
of the
And
of
to
the
David
battle
Bowie's
of-
family.
of the
Escape
Apes.
from the Apes.
All right, who's next? Let's move on.
I'm
from
gonna
this.
I'll go next.
Okay.
I am going to I'm gonna go ahead and tackle Star Wars.
Okay.
Oh, we're sticking to space this time.
Yeah, we're gonna the base. Written in 2000
by a non-white mouse.
by Ghost.
Oh, by a ghost.
Just Ghost.
Just ghost.
And it's called Shmi.
Shmi.
We know a ghost.
It's me.
Boo. Shmi, which is Anakin's mom.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we do not own any of the characters. We don't own any of the story. All of those belong to other people. Don't come after us.
I would like to now own the rights to all Planet of the Apes stuff, so I can get rid of everything.
No,
I just
you
did.
only get the rights to Rise of the Kingdom of the Revenge of the Escape of the Dawn of
the Sith.
Sith of the Planet of the Apes.
Truth.
Okay.
Okay, like I said, it's called Shmi.
That sounds like Captain Hook with a lisp.
Shmi. All right, this is just something that I got on my mind, and I decided to write it down. Question: didn't it seem like Maul was on his way towards Mos Espo when he drove off on that bike?
I mean, of course.
Oh.
I wouldn't have thought he was going anywhere else.
The summary is just something I got on my mind. Involves Shmi and Darth Maul. Don't worry, not in that way. Rated T for swearing. All right. Shmi stood and watched how Qui-Gon Jinn took her son away to become a Jedi. Her heart ached for every step they took. She wanted to cry, but she had never allowed her emotions to take control of her before, and she would not start now. Emotions. She knew that she did not need to fear for anything.
I'll just keep them all right here, and then one day I'll die.
She did not need to fear for anything.
Credit to John Mulaney for that joke.
Qui-Gon was perhaps rebellious and bold, but he was a wise man. Are you all right? Watto asked. He came
God.
flying from behind. I'll be okay, she said. Watto sighed. That Jedi, he was smart, eh? I don't know how he did that, but I lost a lot of money, not to mention Anakin. It was meant to be, Shmi said. You could not have prevented it. No, of course not, he said. But you can't blame one for trying, eh?
Is it okay that I forgot about Watto?
Yeah.
I
It's
haven't.
okay.
Oh god,
I liked Watto. I was okay with Watto, actually.
okay.
I was more okay with Watto than I was Jar Jar.
I was more okay with Jar Jar than
I
was
know
with
you
Watto.
were.
They're both very problematic characters.
Yes.
He put
Are we just not going to talk about the aliens at the beginning of the movie that are very stereotypical Chinese men?
I thought Watto was
Trade
supposed to be a
Federate-
Jew.
Watto is supposed to be a very
that's
big
definitely
stereotype
it. There's
of
a
Jew.
lot of racially
Yeah, no, the
stuff
tra-
in that
the
one.
tra- Trade
It's
Federation.
an all Star Wars.
Yeah. Let's just say
It's inclusive.
it's something.
He put a comforting hand on her shoulder. He'll be all right. I know, she said. Suddenly, she froze. Watto noticed it. What is it? He asked. Nothing, she said. Nothing at all. Is it... Watto never finished the question. I don't know, Shmi said, and then shook her head. We better not stand here any longer. We have lives to continue. Sure, Watto said and flew back into the shop. Let's remember that Watto owns Shmi.
Yeah.
At this point. You know, slavery.
Yet I never saw her doing any work. How lazy.
Oh no.
She was doing something in her house with some stuff.
Did you just make a milking motion? With just two very far apart nipples.
You know, Zach very recently went to that anniversary showing of
I
Phantom
did.
Menace at
I
the.
did
at the
too.
did you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you should both know. What does Shmi do?
Shmi was, I think it looked like she was like looking at old junk parts in her house, just at a desk that she owned.
Okay.
I guess.
That's not
I don't-
milking, but okay.
This is my doing technology dance.
Nope, that is a milking motion.
Yep.
Very far apart.
Yeah.
That's a crab.
Those are, yep. That is a mouse.
That's
Oh,
not
that's
a
a monkey
mouse.
cutting David Bowie's hair.
Okay. Shmi looked around as if she tried to spot something in the sky. How odd, she muttered. In the outskirts, Darth Maul
What are you
waited.
talking about, odd?
One of his black eye droids came flying and stopped right in front of him.
Why's it gotta be black?
That was beautiful. Zach just pointed directly at Demery, and she knew exactly
I
what to
knew.
say.
He knew it was
I
coming.
knew it was coming. Bongai King Gigi.
Oh,
It
God.
said.
Now that was racist.
Droids everywhere. I
Now
apologize.
that's pod racist.
The Sith Lord walked
I
over.
need you to know I've been waiting to say that
Ah.
line since we started.
Yes. You had that. That was a great moment. You got it right in. Sith Lord walked over to his speeder bike, sat down, and drove off. The droid watched him dive down a cliff and disappear towards Mos Espa. Then it returned into the ship and closed down, awaiting its master's next orders. Shmi and Watto had just finished the dinner, and Shmi had just loaded the dishes in the washing machine.
Okay, does he own her, or are they married? What is this?
There's a washing machine. Do they have monkey AC?
No, Anthony, they only have Ice Stone 4s.
Apparently, Watto is just so sad that he lost Anakin that he's going over for dinner.
I just gambled your son away. I'm
I'm
coming
just
over
saying.
for dinner now. You have no choice in the matter.
The kid's gone, time to smash.
Oh, no, Watto. Have some standards. Sure is quiet without him around, Watto said.
Demery had water in her mouth. Oh no! Yippee! Yippee!
So I need a new water now. Because I just spit mine back into the glass.
Oh, you're so funny, Annie.
Oh my god. Sure is quiet now. Won't be for long. Okay, as you were.
Smash.
Sure is quiet without him around.
Want to make some noise?
It is, isn't it? Shmi responded with a sad smile. But still, it is almost as if there is still something is left of him, right?
The Force.
Damn right, Watto chuckled. But what is left isn't that efficient as a slave.
Da 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 da.
This is...
Yes, all I found was his finger.
Shmi was just going to respond when she again froze and almost fell to the floor. Watto was there to catch her, but she managed to keep her balance, which was just as good since the Toydarian wouldn't have been able to hold her up anyway. You felt something, didn't you? He asked. What is happening? Something is wrong, isn't it?
Menopause.
Shmi didn't answer right away. She started to walk towards her room. Watto, you better get out of here, she said. The hell I will, Watto answered. This is my shop, and you are my slave. I'm not going to abandon you just like that. Without a word, Shmi entered he room and opened her old trunk. She dug through the stuff she had in it. Most of it, her most precious belongings.
Guys, if I ever want to get married, I'm going to decorate the room with he and her trunks.
Most of it, her most precious belongings. And down at the bottom, in one of the corners, she found what
A
she
less
was looking
precious
for.
belonging.
It was a... It was a metal... Oh, this is taking a weird turn. It was a metal cylinder, approximately 2.5 decimeter long, with 2 red buttons on it.
Oh, a time capsule.
Hello there,
That's
old...
not where my brain went.
Hello there, old friend, she said to it, inspecting it in the bad light.
Oh, you were thinking of vibrators. Got it.
Yes, you got it.
I haven't used you in
It'd
many...
be more of like a bullet. It's
Oh,
just
no.
small.
I haven't used you in many years. I hoped I would never have to again.
Oh, I would sanitize that.
She took the object in her hand and returned to the shop. You guys seriously don't know what it is?
It's a lightsaber.
Yeah. So I think that's supposed to be a lightsaber. She
okay.
took the... oh, no. I saw something looking forward. She
It
took the
might-
object in her hand and returned to the shop. There she stopped. He had arrived. At the door, a long and dark shape stood.
Jesus.
Dressed in a pitch black cloak and black robes.
She is basically the Virgin Mary.
Yeah. Under the hood, a red face with black tattoos and 2 red and yellow glowing eyes could be seen. He was holding a long lightsaber in his hand.
Tigger?
Hey, Watto said and flew towards him. What do you want? We are closed. The Sith didn't even bother to use his weapon. He just slapped the Toydarian away with his hand. Watto hit the fall and fell to the floor. Maul turned towards Shmi. Shminiakian Skywalker, he greeted.
Excuse me?
Shminiakian Skywalker.
Gesundheit.
Shminiakian Skywalker, he greeted. I have heard of you. The rest of the galaxy believes you are dead since many years. Shmi did not answer. She just pushed the activation button on the object in her hand. Slowly, a shining blue blade grew out. Shmi moved into battle position. Maul ignited one end of his double saber and did the damn.
You know what? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, Shmi. Hell yeah.
Maul ignited one end of his double lightsaber and did the dame.
Huh?
It did.
They just boned real quick and then they got back to fighting.
He knew that now that talking would be a waste of time.
There you go.
Shmi parried the first blow and quickly reposed. Maul only barely avoided the deadly blade. He had underestimated her, and he knew...
I'm so sorry you said Perry, and then we were just talking about how they're definitely having sex. I could only think of perineum.
And he now felt his anger building. Oh, no. And he felt his anger building. He attacked again, and now they started to exchange cuts and swings more rapidly. Suddenly, Maul twirled around and tried to kick her in the face. Shmi bent backwards, dodging the kick, and then bent down, sweeping her leg at his feet. He jumped over it, and she rolled away from the cut. She got up and locked her saber to his, twisted herself around, and placed her heel in his face. He retreated, surprised. Not bad, woman, he snarled. His rage was now on the top. Yeah.
All right.
He attacked again, but she struck his blade away, jumped up and gave him some painful kicks in the chest. She then continued the rapid combinations of attack and parry. Suddenly, Maul managed to get his blade through her defenses, and it pierced her stomach. She dropped the saber and fell to the floor.
This is not how Shmi dies.
Nice try, Sky. This came out, I think, before...
What year did this come out?
2000.
No, episode 2 came out before 2000.
Oh. Yeah. Nice try, Skywalker, Maul said with a malignant smile on his lips.
Don't look at me. I watched this for the first time 2 years ago.
Where are they? Go to hell, she spat. He reached down and grabbed her face with his gloved hand,
Patooey.
forcing her to look into his glowing eyes. Tell me what I want to know. Shmi grunted
I
as
want to know what love is.
Shmi grunted as the information was pulled out of her mind by the Force. Oh my god. Hey, they did that first. They didn't do that. Tried to do that until like the later. Okay.
Good job.
Oh, good job.
Oh, no, you're right. Attack of the Clones came out in 2002.
Bam.
I'm sorry.
Suddenly he let go. Perfect. Now I only have to reach them in time. He raised his saber, but I'm afraid you have to die, Skywalker.
Nah.
Suddenly they could hear people shouting outside. They had heard the fight and were coming to see what had happened. Maul hesitated for only a moment. The first thing a Sith Lord learns from his or her master is how to blend in and not draw attention.
Fuck around, don't find out.
The guy in the black cloak with the red face does not stick out. He could not risk anyone understand who he was. He ran towards the back door and disappeared. Watto managed to get up from the floor and flew over to Shmi in small jumps. Shmi, he said, what did he do to you? Shmi now realized exactly how
You
much
should see the other guy.
how much it really hurt. It had been so long since she was wounded last time. She felt herself slip away. Some people started to appear in the front door. Watto turned towards them. Don't just stand there, he shouted.
Get back to work!
She's hurt. Get help. She did not hear any more before she passed out. When she woke up, she was laying...
No one call the union.
When she woke up, she was laying in a bed. The wound on her belly was only
Union for slaves?
Yeah.
Does she get dental?
Well, of
I
course,
hope
it's got to
so.
be the Union, and it's not going to be the Confederacy for slaves.
Ah.
Boom!
Ah.
And round of applause.
Yep.
Yeah, all right, Demery. All right.
Demery, you get...
Thank you.
She gets joke of the podcast.
All right.
There she is.
I would just like to state that she was able to survive a lightsaber to the gut, but Qui-Gon Jinn was not.
She's a better Jedi.
Qui-Gon Jinn was a little bitch.
Liam Neeson, we love you. Come on the show.
What's his fuck was in Atlanta for the Phantom Menace?
I love what's his fuck.
Ewan?
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor?
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was,
Not who's his face?
No, not who's his face. What's
Damn.
his fuck?
what about what's his name?
He's next year.
Oh, next year?
Yeah.
I loved That's Its Puss, though.
You loved what?
Have you never heard the word puss used for someone's face?
No.
Yeah.
That's
Nope.
what the word sourpuss comes from.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope. She did not hear
Y'all
any
are
old man.
unlearned.
God, I hate it when guys just stare at my puss.
I don't know why I don't know why our date couldn't. I couldn't get over her weird puss.
Oh my
I don't
God,
know what I
Zach,
said
finish the
wrong.
story.
I don't know what I said wrong. She had such a weird look on her puss.
Oh my lord.
All right. Back to Shmi dying.
Yes, let's wrap it up.
She did not hear anymore before she passed out. When she woke up, she was.
She wouldn't say anything. Her lips were sealed. She had a tight puss.
Her puss was pursed in concentration.
Ah!
Oh god.
Hey,
Emily, I don't know why you would say that word here.
I like to share.
when she woke up,
Share your puss.
if you ever show your puss in here again,
You're going to jail. I'm sorry.
get your puss out of my puss.
Zach, you need to shave. You got a hairy puss.
Look who's talking.
My hairy puss is all Demery's.
Depends on if I can breathe.
Oh no!
Are you okay?
Drooling on myself, my puss is leaking. My stomach hurts. Oh my god. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt.
That was the kind of laugh where you just can't breathe.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
Everything
And
hurts.
theys and theydelmen and thadies.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I laughed so hard, my puss hurts. Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
All right. I think we've pushed it out, yeah?
Yeah, I think we're good now.
Yeah.
Let's just puss on and we'll be fine.
Just push through it.
Stop it!
Look, we have to push the music.
You're
The joke
tearing
is
this
running
podcast apart!
Where were we?
What's that
She was
movie?
waking up.
Shmi was dying.
What's that movie
Right.
where a guy gets a surgery to pretend to be another guy? Puss off?
Yeah. Okay. When she woke up, she was laying in a bed. The wound on her belly was only a scar. Watto came flying. "How long have I been here?" she asked tiredly. "Not long," he answered. "You spent some time in the Bacta tank, but you'll be just fine."
I'm sorry, in the what?
Bacta tank.
Oh.
It's a Star Wars thing.
Very, very medical term.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Anakin and Qui-Gon? "According to our sources, their ship is gone," he said. "Apparently they got
According to
away."
our sources, the street's the place to go.
She sighed and fell back to the pillow. Thank the Force. "Do you think that that creature will return?" "I doubt that," she said. "He will probably follow Qui-Gon and Anakin now. I hope they will be okay." "You can think about that later," Watto said and stroked a string of her hair from her puss. "Now you must leave." It's right there. Now you must sleep. "Sure," she mumbled and drifted off. "Sleep." Watto sighed and flew out. "One day I will find someone to sell Shmi to, and when I do, I am going to move to a planet where there is no chance any Jedi will ever come close to me." Muttering things like that, he returned to his shop and continued with his business. So what do you think about this one? A bit strange, I know, but it's late right now, and I don't think very clearly. Review or something. I really want to know what you think.
Uh-huh.
Business.
I think that the midichlorian is the powerhouse of the cell.
How long have you been sitting on that one?
We came up with it while we were watching Star Wars for Thanksgiving like 2 years ago.
Oh my
yes,
God,
with my
that's
sister.
That's amazing.
All right, Demery, it's your turn.
Oh shit, it is my turn.
One.
Remember, she's rolling to see which story she
right.
reads.
Yes, I roll a die to see what story I read. I rolled a d12 and
Because she has 12 stories prepared.
Have you added one to the 7 slot yet, or?
yeah, I have extras down at the bottom that I'm just putting in.
Gotcha,
case I roll
gotcha.
The same number
Okay.
again. I read this one quickly to make sure that it wasn't too bad. It is about a dildo. Okay, when was this one? Yeah, it's good. This one was written in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
It is a supernatural fic.
Oh, okay.
It is called
Supernatural dildo.
It is called 10 Inches Between Dimensions.
Oh, geez.
Jesus Christ.
I think it's a chapter one, but I'll just read the first one. Yeah, it's a 3 out of 3, but I'll just read the first one. Summary. When a break-in at a storage unit holding cursed objects has people turn up dead,
Cursed dildo.
it's up to the Winchesters to try to collect all items before they can do any further harm. Dean volunteers to chase down leads for what looks to be a massive cursed dildo. Unfortunately, Dean has always disregarded one of the basic rules of hunting. Don't touch cursed objects. And it seems that dildos make excellent portals into other dimensions. Notes. This story is canon compliant with the first half of S12, but changes some details regarding Lucifer and then disregards pretty much everything that happened after Cass killed Dagon. For a story that features sex toys...
Spoiler alert, question mark?
Nah, it's been out long enough.
For a story that features sex toys and fertility gods, there's a shocking lack of sex, but there are the inevitable dick jokes because it would be unlike Dean not to have a thing or two to say on the topic of dicks.
Because
True.
he's an ape. Or is he a moose? Who's Moose?
Sam is the moose.
Sam is
Sam
the
is
moose.
the moose.
All right.
The story will come in 3 parts, all already read, blah, 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 blah. None of that matters. And it was, I don't think I said my author. Yes, I did. Anyways, it's written by Silly Blue. All right, chapter
How
1.
cute.
Right?
And they wrote a story about dildos. Adorable.
This is kind of longer than I remember it being. Saddle up, boys and girls.
Okay.
Chapter 1. Dean glared. His phone was lying on the table before him, its screen black, unlit by messages, no matter how hard Dean stared. He held his spoon in one hand, the cereal soaking up the milk in the bowl before him. There were newspapers strewn on the table, but nothing was going on. At least not anything that was their kind of deal. He didn't look up when he heard steps approach. Sam ambling into the kitchen and going straight for the coffee machine.
That's a moose sound.
Make all the boy moose go, wah.
Hey, he called. Dean grunted out. Then he shoveled a spoonful of soggy cereal into his mouth.
I thought Dean could only speak with gravel.
What kind of cereal is it?
Gravelly voice.
He can't speak with a straight tone.
Sammy! Castillo!
I'm gonna refill your water glass now.
What kind of cereal is it?
Soggy.
It's important to me.
Soggy.
I like Raisin
No,
Bran.
Dean would not eat Raisin Bran. It's
What
probably
kind of
something
cereal
sugary.
would Dean eat?
Like
Frosted
Lucky
Flakes,
Charms. Yeah,
Lucky Charms.
I feel like even Frosted Flakes aren't like sweet
Lucky
enough for him.
Charms.
Lucky Charms. Something with marshmallows in it.
Mm-hmm.
Something that Sam would look at and be like, I'm gonna have a bran muffin.
See, again, I've never watched Supernatural. I think I've seen like the first 2 episodes.
Your life is empty.
So I need to understand the characters. What cereal do they eat?
Pie.
Pie. Yeah. It should be pie.
It should be pie. Breakfast pie.
Dean grunted out. Then he shoveled a spoonful of soggy cereal into his mouth. The sound of the coffee maker sputtering filled the silence in the kitchen. Want some coffee? Nah.
You're
Nah.
beatbox.
Nah.
Nah, son.
Nah, Dean said, tearing his eyes away from his phone to fold up the newspaper and put it on a stack to be dumped later. Sam set down his cup. Then he folded his long legs under the table and brushed his hair out of his face. Sam's very tall.
Mm-hmm. That's why he's a
Jared
moose.
Padalecki. I know.
And they have long, luxurious hair.
I know he's got the long hair.
Like pretty much.
I saw him on Gilmore Girls and the Friday.
His name was Dean in that
And we
one.
saw him. We saw him in Cry Wolf recently.
We did, and the Friday the 13th remake.
And he's in a movie about Thomas Kincaid where he plays Thomas Kincaid.
Jared Padalecki, we love you. Come on the show.
Yeah.
You guys know so much more about him than me. You're in a mood today, Sam observed, and Dean lifted his eyes to glare at his brother. Sam looked like he was taking their vacation from the world potentially ending well, and while Dean was glad that Sam could catch a break, that they could catch a break, he also somewhat resented him for his good mood. Dean looked back down at his phone, but of course there was nothing. You heard anything from Cass yet? Trust Sam to Oh, sorry, that was my Dean voice. You heard anything from Cass yet? Trust Sam to zero in on the source of Dean's bad mood right away. Not a peep, Dean growled out.
I miss him.
Cass is some sort of angel, right?
Yeah, he's an angel
Not
of the
some
Lord.
kind of angel. This is not good for podcasting.
No,
Not
it's
some
not.
kind of angel.
Really? Covered.
Hey,
It's not
That's
good for
how
po-
Pikachu mouth.
The ADD got me, okay?
The plastic Pikachu mask is not a good podcast tool.
Now that's podcasting.
Oh, God, how did we miss that?
I don't know. I love it.
What was I saying? Yeah, Castillo is an angel.
Okay.
Yeah.
An angel of the Lord.
Of the Lord.
The Lord.
Not a peep, Dean growled out. Dean finally swiped the phone off the table and shoved it into his pocket. It was only taunting him like this.
My pet angel isn't talking to me. Meh.
That son of a bitch could at least give a sign he's alive. Sam took a sip of his coffee, then he looked at Dean with that damn concerned, pitying look. Dean, Cass is fine, Sam insisted, and Dean shot him a dark glare. Sam tilted his head back slightly as if he wanted to groan, but he thought better of it, wiping his hand over his face and tucking his hair behind his ear. Look, I get it. The last couple of times when he disappeared on us, he wasn't exactly fine, but there's no trouble for Cass to get into now, you know? Lucifer is dead, the Brits have been chased off, and the Grace extraction we did, Kelly's baby is not going to end the world.
Brits?
Yeah.
Yes, we hate the British.
The British came and tried to help the Americans fix their monster problem. And the Americans didn't like that. So we killed them all.
Yeah.
Just call them idiots and
And blew up their base. Because we're American.
all your base belong to us.
Okay.
Yeah, Supernatural kind of was reaching for a few things there at the end. Still good.
I thought the Leviathan story arc was pretty interesting.
They had like 6 more after that. It was like after the Leviathans, they kind of were just like, and now he disappears again. Good, that's good.
Well, I think they were scrambling the whole time because from what I heard, it was supposed to end after the first season. Like that was supposed to be the end of it.
Season 5.
I heard that originally, like it was supposed to end when Sam went to hell, and then Dean just moved on.
Wait,
with
which
his
one
life.
was the Leviathan
That was 5.
season?
Oh, that was 5.
Yeah, they got through.
okay.
That's why
Oh,
season
okay.
5, like the last episode, had such a beautiful arc to it, and then Sam just showed up at the end because it was really popular, and then they were just like, look, as long as you guys want to go, and so
God, they went for so long.
How many seasons did it last? Over 10, right?
Yeah.
I think we were
well
close
over
to
10.
15.
Okay.
I think we were at 15.
Something. It was up there.
Well, I remember the Leviathan season because that one was when they were very not subtly trying to metaphorically address American diabetes.
Sure.
Yeah.
They had a whole season on diabetes?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, but
It was
Cass
all
is-
the Leviathan's fault. Mm-hmm.
And not systemic American issues. Nope.
Yeah, but Cass has got cosmic consequences hanging over his head. In case you forgot that, Dean
The
argued.
brownies
sharply.
aren't even that good.
Dean argued sharply, and Sam closed his eyes, sighing. Dean ineffectively.
That was a cosmic brownie joke. All right, I love it. Yeah, cosmic brownie joke. Good.
Dean argued sharply, and Sam closed his eyes, sighing. Dean ineffectively stabbed his cereal with a spoon, causing milk to slosh over the rim of his bowl.
There is cosmic brownie
Sweet Sammy
ice
Winchester
cream.
lay
I'm
in
sure
the
there's
grass.
cosmic brownie cereal.
This year alone, he was possessed by the devil, got himself saddled with we don't know what because he made dumb choices. Dean, he saved our lives, Sam interjected, but Dean was on a roll. Then he almost got himself killed by that dick Isham. Then Ramiel almost offed him. Then he fucked off to heaven without telling us, stole the colt. Because you didn't put it into the safe, Sam said, his voice flat, the words muttered into his coffee cup. And then he got into the clutches of Nephilim, Dean
And
snapped.
how does that make you feel?
Like snapping. Dean snapped. If we hadn't put him into that ring of fire, he'd have stopped us from extracting the grace,
Ring of fire! Ring of fire!
which would have potentially ended the world. And now he can't even say a simple thank you for saving his ass. What a great voice that is. For saving his ass? Dean, Sam said, shoving his cup of coffee to the side. We trapped him in a ring of holy fire and left him there until we knew the Nephilim situation was neutralized. Of course he is upset. Let him lick his wounds for a moment. He can lick his damn wounds at home. Hi, my name's Dean and I'm Wounds.
Oh,
Dean hissed,
And-
then he pulled his phone out and frowned. Or at least answer a text. You and Cass...
Oh my god, he texted. Oh my god, he texted back.
what did he say? What did he say?
I don't want to look at it.
Oh, come on, you're really.
Why do you have an Ice Stone 4 if you're not going to look at it?
Puss.
You and Cass are absolutely horrible when you're arguing, Sam told him, clearly tired of this whole mess. Dean stared at him, part reproachful, part incredulous. How could Sam not feel anything at this point? Not even irritation or, God forbid, guilt?
He uses lube.
I don't think it's supposed to make it so you don't feel anything.
Oh, but it does help with the irritation.
Fair. I wouldn't answer your text either when all you do is accuse me of things. Well, you're both ungrateful bitches, Dean grumbled.
And you're a grumpy puss.
Sam rubbed his forehead with his fingers, eyes closed in exasperation. Then he looked at Dean. Dean, just admit that you're worried about him. He knows that I'm worried about him, but he's still being a dick, Dean answered. Then he opened his phone. That's it. I'm sending him another text. Sam rolled his eyes, but Dean ignored him.
Is Dean the dildo in this?
It's starting to seem like it.
Yeah.
I said I'm sorry for putting you into holy fire. Stop being a prissy dick about it, Dean.
Wow.
Sorry I incarcerated you for weeks. Why are you holding a grudge?
Oh my
Jesus.
god, what a toxic
Bruh,
relationship.
Bruh.
What's a couple weeks between, you know...
Centuries.
Sam Sam leant over
Two
slightly.
bros sitting in a
Sitting in a ring of fire.
5 feet apart because they're not gay.
Sam leant over slightly and instantly made a disgusted noise. You're really going to send that? Do you want him to ignore you longer? Dean lifted his eyes and glared at Sam. Then he exaggeratedly punched his fingers against the touchscreen, hitting send. You two really need to talk about your issues, Sam said with an exasperated sigh.
I know a therapist. Just saying.
Dean motioned towards the phone. He was talking. Cass was the one not answering. Sam opened his mouth to argue, looking as done with Dean as Dean was with the whole mess, but then a phone rang. Sam pulled his mobile phone out of his pocket, glancing at the screen before he shot Dean a guilty look. That's great. At least people call you, Dean said with a humorous smile.
Someone's a jealous bitch.
Very. Sam accepted the call and put the phone on the table between him and Dean.
You probably got more dates to the prom than me.
Well, that's because Sam went to school.
Right? Then he crossed his arms on the table and leant forwards a bit. There was a warm smile on his face, and Dean looked at the caller ID. Mom. Hey, Mom, you're on speaker.
They have a mom?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So that's a little complicated.
So,
no.
all right, there ended up being a rift to a different dimension where the angels had taken over and were like slaughtering everybody. And it turns out all of the people that existed there were the same as the people that existed in their universe. So then the show just pulled everybody's favorite characters who they had killed off. So,
But his mom had been brought back before that.
oh, was it
by
before
God,
that?
yeah, by God's sister.
Oh,
God's
okay.
sister.
Wow,
God
that's
has a sister,
convenient.
too.
God's sister brought back Dean and Sam's mom because she was like, Dean, you a
Oh,
sad
yeah.
boy. You need your mommy.
Because they were in love with each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Except not.
Ew.
Except yes.
What?
No, God's sister and Dean wanted to bone.
Oh.
But it was the CW, so they couldn't.
Right. Also, God plays the guitar.
hmm
Fucking dope.
Yeah.
Actually, that scene was really
I
well
really
done.
like that
That
scene.
was really well done.
I watched that a million times.
Yeah,
on
it
repeat.
was really well done.
It was.
Don't know if I need to watch Supernatural, if I just need to allow myself to be amazed by all the little pieces
Alright,
of bullshit
so
that
me
happen
and
from
Dimmery
it.
will do a 2-person reenactment of all 15 seasons
Yes.
of Supernatural.
That'll be on the Patreon when we make
Yes.
one.
I want you to be Dean and I want you to be Sam because you're shorter.
Perfect.
Love it. Hey, Mom, you're on speaker, he said. Hi, Sam. Dean. Her voice sounded fond, though also a bit tentative. Why was it that Dean currently had tense relationships with basically everyone? This sucked. Hi, Mom, Dean said. Then,
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Then the corner of his mouth pulled up into a small, involuntary smile. It's good to hear from you. I'm sorry for not calling earlier, she sighed heavily. That spa weekend with Donna and Jody really helped me. We did a lot of talking and I was kind of conked out afterwards. But now I'm back and
I did a lot of weed.
and no more affairs for me for a while. I've sworn off men.
Uh-huh.
Glad to
She
hear-
was shacking up with a Brit.
God damn those Brits.
Glad to hear it, Sam said with a laugh, even though Dean had to smirk. And even Dean
You
had
know,
to
I think
smirk.
we do have some listeners from the UK. We don't hate the Brits.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I can relate, Dean said, thinking back to all the one-night stands he regretted, though he hadn't really had the misfortune of ending up in bed with a psychotic British douchebag. Again, Brits, we love you.
We really do.
Brits, we love you. Come on the
Please
show.
don't stop listening.
Though there had been close calls. Bad judgment probably ran in the family. You've sworn off men, Dean? Their mother asked, though she wasn't teasing, rather genuinely surprised. No, I meant Dean started, but didn't know how to finish because what exactly were they talking about now? Is Cass still not talking to you? Mary asked, and Sam shot Dean a pointed look, which made Dean want to argue that it wasn't his fault. He's giving Dean the cold shoulder, but Dean's not exactly mature about the situation either, Sam said with a look in Dean's direction. Give him some time to cool off, Mary advised. He'll come around. He loves you. Dean tensed instantly. I'm very disappointed there are no dildos yet.
I know, jeez.
Also, Dean is giving me a hell of a lot of Judge Claude Frollo vibes right now. Like it's everybody else's fault but
Hunchback of
mine.
Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hellfire.
What a deep cut.
Now Castiel, you will burn. Choose me or your. Yeah. God. Wow, that works.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Go on.
It's not my fault. I'm not to blame.
Dean tensed instantly at that and
It is the
resolutely...
moose who set this flame. And I don't even watch the fucking show.
Dean tensed instantly at that and resolutely didn't look at Sam, even though he could feel the weight of his eyes on him. They did not talk about this. Anything that was said or done when one faced imminent death didn't count. Every hunter that made it through another almost
That's
deadly...
what gets them in so much fucking trouble every fucking season. That's why I couldn't stand
Because they
watching
just
it.
don't talk.
They don't talk.
Because they're men.
Men.
We're men.
Every hunter that made it through another almost deadly hunt knew that. Anything up, Mom? Sam asked, deflecting the conversation before Dean had to commit to any kind of answer. Yes, actually, I think I found us a case, she said, but then she added slightly more hesitatingly, if you want. Hell yeah, Dean said at once.
Yeah,
before-
men.
Meat!
Dean said it once before Sam had time
But
to
not
react.
that kind of meat. That's... Oh.
The straight kind of meat.
Just steak and pie and steak.
Mary chuckled lightly.
That's what straight men men. Steak and pie and steak.
I've not had anything to hunt for a month. Just give me something to punch. Dean. Sam looked at him with that disapproving glare again, but Dean didn't care.
Punch someone in the puss.
All he did here was stew in his own juices, anger, worry,
His
and
push
guilt,
juices.
warring for the upper hand inside his chest. It's not actually a case where you can punch people, Mary said, and Dean groaned. I found one of the storages the Brits used for items they stole for the bunker. Ugh, don't remind me. Just thinking about them planting bugs and going through our stuff, stealing our stuff even, makes me want to kill something. Dean groused in disgust.
That's
Mom,
a word.
That's a bird.
Oh.
That's a word. That's a bird. You know what? You both are right.
Mom, if you found the storage, then how is this a case? Sam asked. Do you need help transporting them? Or Mary sighed sadly. Unfortunately, it's not me who found the storage. Someone broke into the storage unit, took some items, and now somebody's dead. Damn, Sam commented roughly. Cursed object? Yes, I've retrieved the object from the police station.
All right, we're getting close to the dildo.
I've retrieved the object from the police station and put it back
What else
into...
are we gonna get close to?
Well, she did say she was off of men for a while, so she's got something.
I retrieved the object from the police station and put it back into its curse box. But I don't know how many more items are out there and who has them. I know the police station recovered the inventory list. I'll try to get my hands on it, and then we can go check what's gone, Mary said. Sounds like a plan, Dean said. Do you need any help? If you can make it, Mary sounded hopeful and Dean
Do you need any help? She's already established that. Dean, if you'd listen.
But he doesn't listen. That's the whole fucking issue.
He's a man.
Steak.
Buy a steak.
Cookie.
Mary sounded hopeful, and Dean couldn't help the smile that appeared on his lips. I'd rather not take this on my own and risk more people dying. Besides, I haven't seen you two in a while. We'll be there. Just text us the details and we can check the archive database for further information on the objects, Sam said.
Suddenly, this became CSI Miami.
I'm in. They agreed for Mary to check back in once she had the inventory list, and then they'd meet her. Dean felt a bit lighter by the time they had agreed on a course of action. He ignored his phone. Which is the whole fucking point of that beginning.
That's okay.
Feelings.
This is in bolds. It's a text message. We're on a case with Mom, collecting junk the Brits stole. In case you come home and we're not there, just wanted to let you know. D.
D.
For dildo.
Penis.
So, any luck? Dean hit send and looked up from his phone to find Sam coming into the motel room. Hell will freeze over before Cass texts back, Dean retorted and put his phone into his pocket. Then he grabbed the back of the chair and looked down at the files on the table.
He's really fucking hurting that Cass isn't texting him back.
Yeah.
Like, God damn, bro.
That is the entire show, yeah.
Yep.
Towards the end, yeah.
I know we're on different levels of hell, but it was freezing where I was, Sam said with a teasing smile, and Dean rolled his eyes. Sam sat down at the table, stretching out his legs before he grabbed a folder to compare with the list of items he and Dean could get the police to release. But I was talking about the case. Right, the case, Dean said and drummed his fingers against the chair's backrest. Sam shot him a look, but then the door opened and Mary came in.
It's a Dolce & Gabbana. I just bought it.
Still dressed in her FBI getup. Hello, Agent. Dean greeted her with a grin and saw his mom roll her eyes. Any news?
Gross.
Yeah, I compared the list, Dean said and motioned to the pages
That's
Sam...
his mom, you creep.
Motioned to the pages Sam was leafing through. We've got 4 items still missing. He pulled the sheet out of Sam's hands, his brother's protests ignored. And I don't know if there's a chance or if the Brits are just kinky motherfuckers. The items they got were all marked down as sex and love related. Well,
Brits, please don't stop listening.
Well, that's interesting. I told you what it was about before I started.
No, I'm just talking about all of the bashing.
Yeah, the poor Brit bashing.
Oh, you said Brits don't stop.
Yeah.
Well, we had a really good Doctor Who one in the last episode.
Yeah.
Good. Put them up to bring them down.
Bring him into.
Listen, we've run this many episodes doing shitty British accents. If they're going to stop listening, they are.
That is a good point.
That's
Yeah.
fair, yeah.
Well, that's interesting, Mary said, crossing her arms over her chest and leaning against the wall next to the table. On the list of missing items are handcuffs that make you obey and one with the key.
Ooh, that doesn't sound
A locket that was
consensual.
the heavy-duty love spell on it. A mirror that shows you your soulmate. The best one. A cursed object for, get this, fertility rites. So basically a dildo, Mary said, and Dean clicked his tongue, pointing his finger at her.
What does a dildo have to do with fertility?
Because in archaeology, often what'll happen is when they find these things, they'll call them fertility statues when really they're just dildos.
Uh-huh.
It means it's for sex.
A lot of times they would call them fertility like statues or worship items, and they're just dildos.
Why can't they just say that?
Because it doesn't
Because
sound as good in archaeological paper.
It's significantly more difficult to put it in a family-friendly museum when it says massive dildo.
Fertility statue tends to go over better.
Now, kids, we have all of these fertility statues right here that definitely weren't in anybody.
15,000-year-old fertility statues.
I'm totally calling dibs on that one. I've already dealt with cursed pornography once, so why not also some cursed sex toys? Dean said with a grin.
Is that canon?
Yeah.
Cursed porn?
Oh, my God.
Oh, Jesus.
I probably.
Wait, was that a Jin episode?
No.
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Weird.
Maybe I do need to just avoid this show.
No, you don't. There's like 20 plus episodes
It's
from
so
each
great.
season. God, I'm gonna rewatch Supernatural.
No, you are
just
not.
fucking finish it like a year ago?
Yeah.
I probably don't want to know, Mary answered with a fond roll of her eyes, while Sam leveled Dean with a less than impressed look. Okay, do we know anything about the objects at all? Sam patted a thick folder on the table in front of him.
No.
I brought all the archival notes, sadly not yet digitalized, Sam said mournfully, and Dean tuned him out. He turned slightly away and pulled his mobile phone out of his pocket when it buzzed. Text. Okay. Would it hurt you to actually write something
They're
more
totally
than that?
breaking up.
Dean muttered under his breath, then the phone vibrated again. Text. Don't do anything, quote, stupid, unquote. Followed by an angry-faced emoji. Dean rolled his eyes, but looked up from the phone when he heard Sam clear his throat. Sam had both of his eyebrows lifted, and Dean looked from his brother to Mary.
Anything you'd like to share with the class, Mr. Winchester?
My boyfriend still loves me.
What? The case, Dean? Yeah, Dean groaned. Then he took a seat at the table. So what do we know about that fake dick? Time jump. Dean recalled Castiel's face in the flickering flames. His eyes were wide, shocked and betrayed. Dean had felt sick, a sentiment increased by the heat and the strangely minty scent of the holy fire. Why did this have to happen again?
Minty fresh.
But this time, Cass was less calm. There was no guilt sniffing out any anger at the Winchesters for their cowardly trap.
Why are we like this?
I missed something.
They sniffed.
We both just started.
Because they're children.
Dean's ears...
I watch Bluey. Yes.
Dean's ears had been ringing with Castiel trying to argue with them, trying to convince them that the Nephilim was going to save them and fix everything that was broken in the world. everything that I broke, Castiel had screamed, and Dean had nearly crumbled to his knees. But he and Sam had known better. Hard choice, not the heart choice. Hard choice, not the heart choice.
Okay.
Dean knew the drill. They knew that extracting the grace and making sure that Kelly had a life and got to have her son was the only right thing to do. The despaired screeches of Castiel's true voice had shattered the windows of the warehouse they had trapped Cass in, but the ring of holy fire held. It held as they brought Kelly to a safe place and extracted the grace once they assured her that this was the only way she would survive. It held as they stored the kid's grace, swirling in a pale gold into one of the bunker's heavy-duty vaults. It held when they said goodbye to Kelly, who had a small, hopeful smile on her lips, and it still held when they came to find Cass again. Dean wouldn't forget the look Cass had sent him, dark and reproachful.
I'm sorry, is this all a flashback?
I'm pretty sure now,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
I thought
my
we were jumping
God.
ahead and continuing the plot, but apparently not. We're just
We
recapping.
have to recap.
Dean wouldn't forget the look Cass had sent him, dark and reproachful, his face bruised by Dean knocking him out with the angel-warded brass knuckles. Cass had remained silent as Sam extinguished the fire,
also a thing.
and he left without a word.
Yeah, all fucking right. Okay.
Dean understood why Cass initially kept his distance. He, too, had been disgusted with the whole ordeal, even though it had been the right thing to do. But now, he should be grateful and happy. Kelly got to survive. The world wasn't ending. Everything should be finally falling into place. So why the fuck weren't things okay?
Yeah.
Now I think we're jumping back to the actual story, and I swear we're getting close
Right.
to the end. Dean's best guess as to find the elusive cursed dildo was to check out various pawn and sex shops. So he hit those while the others followed their own leads.
Like what? What? Where else could it possibly be?
Nowhere.
What?
Dildos only exist in pawn shops and
And
sex
museums.
stores and museums.
No, okay, listen. The only other option is to just look in every woman's bedside table drawer.
Or an estate so.
The archive notes from the Men of Letters came with a small description and a grainy photograph. Dean forwarded Cass a picture he had snapped of the page. It was a long shot, but maybe Cass would surprise him with his arcane knowledge of ancient cursed sex toys. Though maybe sex
Yeah.
toy
That
wasn't
is
the
a
right
very
word.
impressive knowledge set. I'll give him
Right?
that.
Though maybe sex toy wasn't the right word for it. Dean was hardly an expert when it got to dildos, but from the description and scale provided in the pic, Dean knew that the thing was massive. He really hoped nobody tried to
Schlong.
use it. Size aside, accidentally triggering the magic of a cursed dildo sounded unpleasant. Dean shuddered as he got out of the latest shop on his list, where the shop assistant had sent him a very lewd smile and told him she could hook him up with something of that size. Dean had been out of there like hellhounds were on his heels.
Is the size itself the curse, or like what? In what way is it cursed?
So from the description, it seems like it changes realities, because I think it's a dimension hopping cursed dildo.
Some orgasms do that, yes.
Good for you.
I know what my woman wants.
Oh gosh. Dean pulled his phone out of his pocket and checked for news, but there were none.
Zach, what's going on with your puss? What's happening here?
Especially no answering text from Cass. Text. Maybe the cursed dildo is stuck up your ass. That would explain why you've been such a dick recently.
Actually, is a perfect supernatural line, yeah.
Dean typed in a fit of irritation and sent it off before he could think better of it. He was annoyed. Sue him. The only thing left to do now was ask around the neighborhood, which was certainly going to be fun.
Hey, have you seen this dildo?
I'm 5.
An FBI agent going from door to door with a picture of a disappeared sex toy. Dean's phone vibrated and he pulled it out. Surprisingly, Cass had texted him back, but it was nothing but a rude emoji. Now that's just childish, Dean complained, but his
Well,
retort
what
had
was
to
it?
wait.
An eggplant?
I don't know,
Right.
he just said a rude emoji.
Probably the middle finger.
Oh,
When Dean had lifted
I
his
would have
eyes...
preferred the eggplant.
Is this the dildo you're looking for? This
is
is
not
not the
the
dildo
dildo
you're
you're
looking
looking
for. Now that's just childish, Dean complained, but his retort had to wait. When Dean had lifted his eyes away from the screen, he noticed a garden that looked surprisingly verdant for the time of year. Dean put away his phone and approached the house that he was...
Like it was fertile?
Verdant. I don't know that one.
Oh, it just means green
That.
and luscious and
That makes
fertile
sense.
and horny.
Me. It was
Moist.
looked surprisingly demery for this time of year. Dean put away his phone and approached the house that was attached to the garden.
He put away his bone?
His phone.
Oh.
His Ice Stone 4. It was.
You'd think they would upgrade to the Ice Stone 6 by now.
Was
just
that
said-
even in this episode? Time is running
Yes,
together.
yes. No,
Yes.
they said in the story that they had the Ice Stone 4 because they liked the brand, but they weren't upgrading because it costs a shit ton of money.
Yes.
It was already spring, but it was still cool, and nothing but buds should be sticking out of the soil. The plants in this garden,
buds!
the plants in this garden
buddy.
were in full bloom
You
already.
want a beer? Let's go watch sports.
Dean checked the details on the object. Fertility spells often also impacted nature. Maybe it was nothing, but Dean had to start somewhere. He still wore his FBI outfit, so he followed the walkway and got up onto the porch to ring the doorbell. It took a moment for the door to open, and a woman in her 60s poked her head out. Good morning. Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Agent Martell. Can I ask you some questions pertaining to a break-in the FBI is currently investigating in the area? Dean showed her his badge, and while the woman seemed surprised to have an FBI agent on her doorstep, she didn't look nervous at all. Why is the FBI investigating a break-in?
Why is this 60-year-old 92?
Are you coming for my dildo, sir?
It sounded more fun.
I approve.
The lady asked, though she opened the door further. We have cause to believe that the storage unit that has been broken in belongs to organized crime. Dean answered, and the lady nodded at that. Dean lifted his folder to pull out a picture.
Oh, that sounds about right.
Organized crime always uses dildos.
This neighborhood's gone to shit in the past 150 years.
Dean lifted his folder to pull out the picture of the curse boxes that had been taken away. We don't have a complete list of items, so some of the things which were stolen might be dangerous, Dean said. Then he looked at the woman. Some of the confirmed items might seem unexpected, I suppose.
Might seem sexy.
We suspect they were used as a cover-up. The lady looked at him expectantly, and Dean felt a bit weird. She didn't exactly look like someone who would try and hide a cursed dildo from an FBI agent.
I know
what does that look like,
I know
Dean?
the face.
What does that look like? If a woman finds the right dildo, she's not giving it up for shit.
Too no nonsense for that. Dean showed her a picture of the curse box the dildo was in. The woman put her reading glasses on her nose, squinting at the picture. Dean observed her. Are you okay?
Ah, yes, a cock.
I haven't seen one of those since 1924.
Dean observed her expression and congratulated his instincts when he saw her widen her eyes in recognition. She took off her glasses and tapped them to the picture. My daughter recently bought a chest like that from a pawn shop, she said. Then she handed the picture back to Dean. But she didn't say what was in it. Can you give me her address? She lives with me. Paying off student loans makes it hard for young
We share the dildo.
Oh, no.
Fina. No. No.
They sanitize.
Hey,
She
get
lives-
going the dishwasher
Dishwasher
now.
safe.
God.
Are cursed dildos dishwasher safe?
They better be.
It's
no.
amazing the advances in technology since I was a girl.
Imagining opening your dishwasher and your dildos just melted all over the bottom.
No. I got really sad about that for a second.
I did. She lives with me. Paying off student loans makes it hard for young people to get their own place. You know how it is,
Too
Agent.
real.
The woman said, and then she motioned Dean to follow her. Come on in. Denise is at work, but you can go check out her room. Are you sure? I can come back to get her permission, Dean asked, though he really wanted to get this done now.
Wait a minute.
No, I give zero
Wait a minute. Did the grandmother say, or the mother say that she got it from a pawn shop?
Yeah.
She bought a dildo from a pawn shop? Can we just...
She can't afford to live anywhere. She's
Right.
gotta save money.
No. There are rules in society.
Sir,
Fertility idol.
do you have any idea how much a dildo costs right now?
You know, I can't say I do.
Neither do I, but I'll bet it's too expensive.
It is too expensive.
From a pawn shop?
Yep.
Look, I've never been quite that desperate, but I can't say I won't one day get there.
Needs must, Anthony. Needs must.
It's fine. It's fine.
I thought you were going to talk about the fact that the mother was just like, please go into my grown...
Yes, please violate my daughter's
my
privacy.
adult daughter's privacy
I
by
don't
going
ca-
through
old-
her drawer.
Old woman letting cops inside. I'm not saying that that's weird. But
And must be
but
white.
buying a dildo from a pawn shop is holding me up here.
In the mom's defense, she doesn't know it's a dildo. He just showed her a picture of the box.
Yep.
Oh, that's true.
That's fine.
Doesn't know that it's for her daughter's
But I'm-
box.
It's a dildo in a box.
It's my dildo
No in a box.
It's fine. It's fine. Denise is a good person. She wouldn't knowingly buy anything that was stolen, the woman said. Maybe she was a good person, but Dean still wondered how her mother would react if Dean found a giant dildo in her daughter's room. Dean went through the door. The
Oh,
woman...
so needing a giant dildo means she's a terrible person now, huh, Dean?
If it's in a pawn shop, then that means that the pawnbroker opened the box, looked inside, and was like, "Yeah, I'm willing to sell this shit."
How much do you think he got for it?
I don't know.
For the fertility idol.
Yeah. I mean, if you market it as a fertility idol, probably a pretty penny. Maybe her daughter is studying archaeology.
Uh-huh.
Just hasn't gotten to that course yet.
You know what? That sounds like an expensive degree she'd
Yeah.
still be paying off.
Yep. Dean went through the door the woman held open for him. He quickly combed the room, but the chest wasn't anywhere. Dean walked up to the window to check for anything suspicious. The backyard was no actual garden.
Anthony is still upset.
And he is,
I'm so sorry.
he is hung up on that pawn shop.
Just keep reading. We're fine.
The backyard was no actual garden, but a field that stretched between the houses in the neighborhood.
Side note, Anthony is not fine.
There was a trail of flowers that started at the house, crossed the field, and disappeared into a small copse of trees. C-O-P-S-E?
cops.
Cops.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that it's called that either.
I don't like it.
But it is a word.
Trees are cops, all speaking for the White Witch and everything.
Wow. That was a Chronicles of Narnia joke.
Gotcha, gotcha.
See, it was good. Thank you. This is better than a non-white mouse.
Is there anything in that small wood over there? Dean asked the mother. Maybe a place where your daughter likes to go? Well, there's an
I
old...
swear, Zach and I are just Tweedledum and Tweedledee over here.
Well, there's an old cabin. More of a shed, really.
That's where she goes to masturbate.
That belongs to her girlfriend's grandfather. As big as hell gay.
Her girlfriend's... Okay.
It belongs to her girlfriend's grandfather. She explained promptly. Well, that was a good lead. Denise isn't in trouble, right?
We call it the Love Shack.
Love Shack! Baby Love Shack!
Dean turned away from the window and showed the woman a reassuring smile. No, ma'am. We have to take the object, though, and ask her where she got it, in case the vendor has some of the other stolen objects, too. Ah, that's fine, the woman said with an easy smile. Dean took his leave, exiting the house through the back door. He followed the trail of bright flowers. He quickly checked in with Sam and Mary to update them. If we interrogate Denise, we might find out who got the items and who they sold them to, Dean said, following the flowers. Maybe there's even a connection to the dead person or other people who might be in danger.
And then we're going to call the Better Business Bureau on the pawn shop.
Yeah, I'm really worried about that locket. So maybe once you get the cursed dildo and deposited it in the cursed boxes Mom has in her car, you can... deposit my cursed dildo in my cursed box. You can help me with some tentative leads, Sam suggested. They agreed on that, and Dean ended the call. He quickly checked his phone to make sure that he hadn't missed any of Cass's messages. Of course, there were no new ones. The cabin was small, and the key was placed in a pot with fake flowers. Amateurs, Dean muttered and let himself in. He didn't even have to go search for the chest because it was right there on a low coffee table between two cozy-looking armchairs. The cabin didn't look like someplace you'd go for some sneaky, kinky sex. Maybe Denise had only gotten the chest after all, without contents. Dean opened the chest. Nope, there it is, Dean said and studied the dildo. It was made out of wood, painted in white, with evenly
What kind
drawn...
of paint?
Dildo paint.
Dildo paint. Don't put this one in the dishwasher. Painted in white with evenly drawn markings in faded pink. It was very detailed and very big. Meanwhile, Dean pulled out his phone and opened the conversation with Cass. Miss something? He typed out and then reached out to take a picture of the dick. One of the first rules of hunting, don't touch cursed objects.
Oh.
Dean had never been good at following this rule. So he had no one but himself to blame when there was a flash of light.
It's going to go in his butt.
So he had no one but himself to blame when there was a flash of light. And once his vision returned, he was standing
Everything
on a hill.
just changed. His molecules got all rearranged.
Phantom.
Surrounded by nothing but more hills and green valleys stretching before him. A stiff breeze made him shiver in his jacket.
Snow white hair and glowing green eyes.
I'm more thinking of the stiff breeze.
Still dumbstruck, he made a turn to try to figure out what the hell had just happened. He was standing in the middle of a small circle of some weird standing stones. He doubted he was still in the
Holy
U.S.
stones?
It's for the dildo.
You've got to be kidding me, he hissed. Then he took another look through the standing stones at the landscape beyond the hill. It didn't look like there was a city nearby. He was in the middle of fucking nowhere. Dean pulled out his phone. No signal, of course. Awesome, Dean muttered. Then he pocketed his phone.
I can't take my dick pic.
He walked out of the circle, trying to figure out into which direction he should go. There seemed to be a building in the distance, and there was some sort of unpaved path leading past the hill. He had no idea what the building was, and if the path even led there, but it was his best shot. Why would a cursed dildo send him to some random countryside? Dean wondered as he started walking. Maybe this was a sexy fantasy. Dean looked around. Nope, not enough naked people for a sexy fantasy. Actually, no people at all. Crap. And all of this because he wanted to be a dick to Cass? Serves you right, Dean, he said into the wind.
That's how it ends?
Yeah. Well, that's the first chapter.
Oh, the first chapter.
Which is
Jesus.
why I couldn't tell how long it was because it does the cumulative.
Right.
And I scrolled quick and thought, oh, that should be fine.
Oh,
Okay.
fanfiction.net.
No, AO3.
Oh.
That was
Long.
an episode.
See, here's the thing about that, though. It read like an episode of Supernatural for me because part of the reason why I stopped watching that show was because it felt like half of every episode was just recap. And just them talking about their feelings about what happened 10 episodes ago instead of talking about their feelings about what's happening right now.
Right.
You know? And
That was only on like every 3 episodes.
Yeah.
The
And
other-
it's only because during those 3 episodes they were bottling up their feelings so that they had to express them in that third one.
So like I said, this reads like a Supernatural episode.
No, I mean, it wasn't bad. Ish.
It wasn't. It was bad because it didn't technically follow our criteria of like being a shorter story, but it was decent, I think. Yeah.
I mean, it was one of those like.
I feel like it could be a pretty good fanfic if we were to just like buckle down and read the whole thing. But
I would have
Yeah.
preferred if we didn't have 20 minutes of talking about how much Dean wanted Cass to text him at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
It got
entire
entertaining
section-
when we got to the dildos hunt.
Yeah.
Right.
When we got to the actual story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I
So
broke Zach. I had a
You
story
did.
so long and boring that I broke Zach.
It wasn't long and boring. My brain just was.
oh,
just
we
like,
had lots of fun dildo jokes. That was a good time.
And we learned about puss equals face,
Yes.
That was
and
a time.
and David Bowie on the Planet of the Apes,
And Ice Stone Force.
and Ice Stone 4s and Monkey AC and
No, there is no monkey AC.
And dishwasher dildos.
Dishwasher dildos. Dishwasher fertility statues.
Yes.
See, I'm learning.
yeah. See, there you go. Well, thank you all for listening. if you have any fan fictions or anything you want to email us, if you want to complain about anything, interact at all, really, you can.
We're gonna get
Please.
so many British emails.
There's so many British emails. Please, well, listen. You can send them to pensivemp@gmail.com.
Yep, pensivemp@gmail.com. That is PENSIVEM as in music, P as in playing @gmail.com. You can also find us all over the interwebs. We have TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and you can find that by searching for Pensive Music Playing.
And don't forget to send us pictures of your Union Jack dildos.
Only if you're 18.
Yes.
Well, all right.
Well, I
Thanks for
mean, I guess
listening.
you don't have to be 18 as long
No,
as
you
you're
do.
not.
You do.
As long as you're
You
not in the
do.
photo.
Nope. You do need to be 18
you
to
do need
send
to be
us
18 to
dildos.
send us pictures of sexual objects.
What if they're not in the photo?
I do
It
not
doesn't
care.
matter.
I don't want pictures of dildos from underage teens.
How are they going to learn if they don't get the experience?
They don't need to learn from us grown adults.
Okay.
Yep.
On that note,
All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.